Alright, let me make sure this is working. Alright. Making sure. Okay, I gotta fix a few things real fast. Where is. There's Twitch. Alright, we are back. So earlier we were able to do a little bit of fishing. We let me see. We got our fishing skill up like quite a bit. Also, I'm gonna check. I hate working with this because Stardew does not want to work with me on it, so windowed borderless. Okay, so that has completely messed up the stream. Okay. Let's go back to windowed. There we go. That's fixed. Okay. I'm just gonna have to stick with it being on the windowed mode. But we did some fishing, and yeah, our fishing skill is level 6 already, and we're on day 4. We haven't even gotten our socializing skill up. We need to start doing some more socializing. Okay, another gift without a gift. The hat shop. More bait. Okay. We are, I think, can we already get this? We can't. Okay, so we're one day away from getting our spinach. Let's water our little bush. I'm excited for this. Which is the Zuzu City diesel. Which it should sell for good, yeah. Okay, how do we get this? Okay, we need a limbic. We might need to do some more foraging. Perfect place I want to kind of clear out. And since it's not Wednesday, that does mean we should be able to go buy the new backpack. Let's give this sound more this ambient footstep. There we go. That should be good. Yeah, that's perfect. Steckerel fish. Alright, there's just one area I want to work on, and that is over here. I want to turn this into the actual farming area. There we go. And I'm hoping soon I'll be able to get a webcam so I can actually get the the PNG tuber model working. Which I've already got designed, which is the profile picture for the account. Let's go ahead and just put everything in here. Since we're going to be fishing a bit, we'll just dump all the tools in there. Oh. Oh, a puppy. Been angling for some time now. It's been a day, Willie. That fishing experience under your belt, I recommend casting your line over the Shearwater Bridge, east of Pelican Town. You'll land some good whoppers there. We got super special Willie cutscene right there. Oh. Okay, let's go ahead and get this new backpack. Hopefully, I think it was just 1,200. Oh yeah. 2,000. There we go. Look at that already. We have gotten even more of a hotbar, it looks like. Which, this should make the whole fishing experience a little bit easier too. Okay. Checking something. You might be able to get it from... There we go. I really like the fact that we just have the fishing easier mod. Highly recommend it. It lets you like just be able to relax while playing the game and not having to worry. Like, if you don't want to do the mini game, you don't have to. And it makes it super easier. Which I know to some and a lot of people this would be cheating, but also these games are just meant to be played however you want to play them. If you want to have a more relaxed time playing, you can. If you want to be down in the mines, then you're allowed to. And personally, I prefer to have more of a relaxing time instead of having to stress about it. Which really, the same can be said about, excuse me, can be said about playing like Minecraft with keep inventory on. Some people like it, some people don't. It makes it easier and you don't have to worry about just dying 1,000 blocks away and not getting your stuff back. But also, it takes away the risk of it. So, I don't know. This just makes it where I'm able to enjoy the game at a quicker pace. Selling anchovy bait. Could do with getting anchovies. Does he have... He has the iridium rod, which we can just fish out for today. Then we get trout soup. And... we'll get this for when we get the iridium rod. Ooh. We'll go ahead and get out that. There we go. And so whenever we get the iridium rod is gonna be a good time. What was that? We got a barracuda. Sells for 1,000. Okay. $150. $150. Okay. What we'll do is, if we end up needing to, we'll just eat the fish for energy. Ooh, okay, we'll keep the ruby. Is there anything? Yeah. Okay. Can make ruby dust. Powdered gem. So what does ruby dust do? Life elixirs. Alright. Which tomorrow we'll go get our geodes checked. Got another ladyfish. We also need to, tomorrow, since we'll have a lot of money left over from the mass amount of fish we've been getting, is build a furnace. We definitely need to get one of those for all of the coal. Sorry. I've been non-stop under the weather due to some medication I've been on, and honestly it's been doing not as much as it's been supposed to. Which either I need more of a dosage or less. But zebra eel. Which either way it's fine. It just has given me a bad cough. Okay, the zebra eels sell good, so do the ladyfish and the barracudas. What can we sell at this shop? Probably some... yeah, we'll do the anchovies. So let's see, how do we can we even craft the furnace yet? I don't think so. No, it's all smokers. Yeah. Oh, Jesse. Just the recycling machine. We don't really need that right now, but since we kind of need use for the seaweed and the driftwood. Okay. Maybe I get that back later. Alright. Cork bobber, treasure hunter. At that. Over 3,000. Okay, we're on day 5, which is good. Because I think now our spinach should be good. We got Jeff the Shark. Marnie's sprite is so good. I do see that dog there, Marnie. Seems like this place. Don't you think this firm could use a good dog? What should we name it? I want to name it Jeff, just because it's literally Jeff the Shark. Well, Jeff, you be a good pooch now. It's so funny seeing anthropomorphic animal characters with pets. It's like the Mickey Mouse. Mickey Mouse with Pluto. New rods. Okay, Willie. 500. Okay. Dear puppy, have you settled into your new life yet? I can't believe you're all grown now. Time sure flies. Now you're gone, I have all this extra money laying around, so I included a little gift. Love, Dad. Honestly, it's like my actual dad. I'm not a valued JojaMart customer. Okay, so they removed the landslide so the mines are open. Okay. I do wish the Romance Morris mod worked for me. Is this almost done? In 3 days. We're close. We are close to getting our Zuzu. Let's go ahead, water all the plants. Damn it, I just put the scythe up. Jeff, move. Honestly, I've never gotten to the point where I've actually had, like, trees and stuff in Stardew, so I don't know how, if you actually need to water them or not, but... Let's... Sorry. Okay, so we can make... Alright. Vegetables, I think we can make broth now. Actually have a thing to do that. Okay. anything the carrots can make? A lot? Okay. I think if we farm the carrots, we'll be able to make this on like a good day next year. But we're able to make the broth if we had a cooking station. We'll go up to Robin and see what we can do. Yeah, we got this big old backyard, which I'll probably do something with. Okay, we're gonna need to go get our tools now. Here we go. We can still go down to Pier and see what we can get, crop-wise. Because I know we've done a lot with the fishing in just a few days of the game. But it wouldn't hurt to do a little bit of farming here and there. Okay, the anchovy sells for quite a bit in town. 10 out of 49. Oh, we really need to go buy a parsnip. Okay. Okay, cost me 10,000. 400 pieces, 50 pieces of wood. Okay. Let's see what buildings we can get. So, coop, barn, well, silo, a mill, shed, fish pond, cabin, pet bowl. Which is just for one pet, yeah. Okay, so this would allow us to get another pet. Okay. Sorry. The slime hutch, shipping bin. Okay. Coop or barn dwelling animals equipped with auto feed. So this would be the big one that we want, which we honestly might shoot for this one. Big grinder. Okay, so composter and big grinder don't work. Deluxe barn. Unlocks bears. Okay. Parrots. Tempting. Large shed. Can have a monster den. Golden wishing well. Cavern. Feeding chute. We can get this at some point. I think this might be the dinosaur one. This might be the dinosaur one. Or this one. Okay. That's for root vegetables. This is the dinosaur, so what is the subterranean ones? And then a coop. Then we're back. Okay. Let us see what she sells. Because I know everyone has new stuff. What that stove fireplace. Okay. honestly not bad. Can't steal our stuff, okay. Rude. Okay, we know we need to get parsnip seeds, so let's do 10 parsnips. We're already close to getting our air fryer. Okay, spinach, passion fruit, parsley, onion, basil. Okay. Get a wrap. I think I might farm these. Okay, so how long do harvest after 4 days? Okay. Let's do 20. Ten of those. Alright, we're gonna leave before we run out. Okay, her spray is so cute. A stranger. Okay, but paste. I'm literally the same way. Let's go ahead and get all of these planted. This is definitely gonna bump up our farming skill a little bit. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Should be 6. I think that was 3. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Can do 2, 3, 4, 5. Two, three, 4, 5. Then over this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Okay, so this go there. we should be able to just go here. And I know it's not that far from actual distance, but it feels easier. New girl farmer moves down the street, immediately starts the best farm ever. Okay, let's try and stop Willy before he leaves, so we'll be able to buy the fish stew and do some fishing before it gets dark. Okay, let's see if this works. Oh my gosh, Ellie is a lion. For all we've all been expecting, whose arrival has sparked many a conversation. I'm Elliot. I live in a little cabin by the beach. It's a pleasure to meet you. And I'm a wee loser of fishing. For Willy. Okay, did that took my bait? Are you kidding me? Okay. Let's go ahead and get that going. Wow. I absolutely love that. Since we have it where we catch two of the fish, when we hold them up, it actually shows the two fish. Like, shows me holding two fish. And we got more bait. Let's go ahead and put that on the rod. If you get enough of the bait, it kind of replenishes itself over time. But it's more of a 50-50 chance to get a... Okay. That's gonna be great. Okay, again? Alright. And we got this on our bottle. Okay. $32 results. Canned fish. I need to get a canning machine. Okay. Don't think we're going to get a replenish on our bait just yet. Yeah, probably not. Just good hoping though. 2 barracudas. Ah, we still got plenty of energy left. Spiny dogfish. How much? Whoa! A single spiny dogfish sells for basically 1,500. Whoa, dog. Should have named him Thumper, because he keeps thumping every time he wants attention. Our dog's the cutest little guy. His name's Arthur, but literally he's like a little rabbit of a dog. And look at that, more bait. This payout for tomorrow is gonna be crazy. I'm betting 3,000 at least. Okay, at least 4 to 5,000. We'll rush home at once we finish up these 2 bait, unless we get more bait. Okay, we got coal. That's a good sign. Alright. Let us run home now. What we'll do is spend the next day cutting down trees so we can get to upgrading the house. Because once we get the ability to have a kitchen is when everything's going to go really good for us. Definitely going to specialize in cooking these and all the fish. Then once we sell 50, we'll be able to get our restaurant license. Don't really need that. Okay. Hi. I'm actually doing really good. How are you? Already level 8. Alright. Got level 1 archaeology, so we can get a preservation table and a restoration. The stream's going actually really good. We have... okay, so I was 4,000 off on the fishing. We got over 8,000. To give a rundown, basically, it's an extremely modded Stardew game. With, I really like the Anthro mods in that entire series is really nice. Lets you literally make a fursona while also having every character in the game as a fursona. We have some mods that add... yeah. I do try to stream daily, but I also have work, so I can't really do it as often as I wish. We stream at least every other day. Yeah, sure. So we gotta take this over to Gunther. I would say yes, but I already have someone working on some of that stuff already. Thank you, though. Okay, I think every day I'm gonna be getting that mail. How much longer for this? 8 days. Okay, has the museum opened yet? Let's go put this right there. Thank you so much for the offer, though. We could buy that, but stock up on some Willy's Wonder whenever it becomes summer. Do 30. Honestly, we could get to the point where instead of actually fishing, not fishing, but cutting down trees for wood, we could just get to a point where we just buy all the wood we need. We could also fish it, is also an option. Sorry. And the reason I'm doing this now in the rain today is because I know rain has a higher chance to get a lot better of the fish. Especially anchovials. And then tonight also I'll go to the saloon and have conversations with everyone. That way we could try and upgrade our socialization skill, and I think that would be really good. So get that upgrading. Cause and skills. Yeah, we only got archaeology, foraging. We haven't even got farming yet. Okay. Skeletal tail already. So I love that the sonar, I know it is a sonar, but I love that it looks like the Dragon Ball Scouter from Dragon Ball. Which I wish there was some Dragon Ball mods for Stardew. Because I know there is for Terraria, and I absolutely love the the Dragon Ball Terraria mods. For some reason, with my team mod loader, it does not work on one of them. So I can't really get to enjoy it as much as I want to. I think it is the version that adds an Ultra Instinct. And I've really wanted to get into the Dragon Ball Minecraft ones. Those are tough as is. Let's go ahead and just... There we go. Now there was, a couple years back, a really good Dragon Ball Roblox server, which is funny now, but it was one of my favorite ones on Roblox when I used to play it. I remember the last update I played of it, they brought out where you could play as the Jiren, the gray alien race. Although personally, I was more of an Android player. Which I do wish they could bring that to Xenoverse 2. The ability to make an Android, because really, I've played all of Xenoverse back to back on like 4 different consoles. Played through all of the races you could play from. Additionally, male and female Boos, the Namekians, Frieza. I have maxed out a character of each race. And it's a little lacking in like variety on character creation. Like, it's one of the best ones for it, honestly. And I think it picks up where the Naruto Xenoverse game kind of like slacked a little. And which I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's the one Naruto game that lets you customize your character like thoroughly. And with that, that one was fun. It felt also kind of like a paywall, which Xenoverse had plenty of just options in the base game without any of the DLCs, and the DLCs kind of just felt like DLCs, which is different for a lot of like newer gen games, where it feels like you have to have the DLCs in order to even play it. Which is sad, because a lot of games are really good in quality, and it's just that one little bit that they always, like, that causes the game to not be able to be its full potential, is they'll paywall everything. I know. Let's see if we can... Which we'll probably be able to buy all the wood to upgrade the house, but it's not going to be bad to do some actual mining ourselves. Well, not mining, but foraging for trees. Coal seeds. Okay. Okay, Twilight Feather. Let's go ahead and get these. Okay. Androids farm, socializing. We're getting our socializing skill up. So that's a good sign. You only get... Oh, they have to restock it. Okay. Do I have to buy the thing from him? Don't believe we met. Morris, JoJo customer satisfaction representative. I don't want to be a JoJo member. I want the item. You know what I'm here for. Which I sadly think will only be accessible in the theater. Maybe. Says Sebastian, oh my gosh. He's literally the, what is it? He's the werewolf meme with the werewolf in the rain just tearing. Be an alpha. Also, I really want to buy the fish shirt from... There was a mod that adds in the skill for that, which we might download. I just like having all of the good mods. We can have absinthe? Okay. Creme de cacao. Contraire. Guys, we can get hot cocoa. Which maybe we'll look for something that would be simple to make and a little bit easy. Blueberry. That'd be good. Sugar. Bunny cotton candy. We can get this. and we could just sell, like, okay, hear me out. We buy this. He sells sugar, doesn't he? Let's see. Someone sells sugar. But we should also be able to just make sugar ourselves. What was that? Cooked horse meat? Oh no. Okay, let's maybe not buy cooked horse meat. Chicken spinach, coconut curry, barbecue sauce. Nisi. Oh no, it's okay. Bacon and eggs. I just remembered it's Pierre that sells the sugar. So, a star fruit? Are you kidding me? No. This would probably have to sell for like $1,000. Pig donut. Those orange juice. We have to find it. Okay, there we go. Drained us a bit in the money department, but we should be fine. We'll go home, fix up the house, because I really want to see how this wallpaper looks with the flooring. We'll go ahead and plant this as well. I hate wasting one of the trout soups already, but it's for a good cause. I hope. So we can actually farm some coal. Since we have the magical, mythical crops. There we go. We have coal and our favorite crops. And I think this was the parsnips. Okay, let's get that. Take one of those. Take one of those. Is there anything else Gunther needs? Doesn't look like it. Okay. Oh, okay, so that's already our wood. Our floor. There we go. See how much we've made. Alright, fishing level 9, seafood pudding. Made back our money. You're kidding. They added K-pop Demon Hunters to Fortnite. Chat. Oh no. Okay, I think the game just almost crashed. Okay. That scared me for a quick second. Demetrius is a rabbit. Oh my gosh. Some good news for you. A few days ago, I made a breakthrough in my research on the local environment. Spare technical details. Get to the point. You know that empty cave you have in the cliff? Well, I have a way to turn it into something useful for both of us. Look to set up the cave to attract some local species. That way I can observe them in a more controlled environment. Okay. Should we do mushrooms or bats? Bats will give us fruit. Mushrooms. I know that the bats are mushrooms. Mushrooms? Which I do know the bats... I know the bats... I know the bats will give us the fruits and all that stuff. But also, that's stuff we can find lying around, unlike the mushrooms, I think. If I'm remembering. I'll go bats, that way we can have a continual supply of fruits for pies and things. Okay, another... I gotta fix that. 500 more money, okay. Hell yeah, okay. Puppy, hello north neighbor. My dog Ruby and I are moving into this sick little campsite I managed to find. It looked like there used to be a path, so I cleared it. You should, like, totally come check it out. Just northwest of the lake in Cindersap. Look for the wagon tracks. Norval and Ruby. Okay. Speed patch, cleared it. Alright. Let's... Can I already... Okay. When... This says, like, a day. Yeah, okay. Let me do as much as I... Oh no, something already got... Okay, that's sad. All we need is one parsnip. I do know the first thing we're going to upgrade is going to be the watering can. Because I do not think it will be enough to finish all of this. Yeah. mustard. Start drip. Oh my gosh, it gives you the... It makes you gay. It makes you gay. In a good way. Chat, I think the Star Drip might be my favorite drink. Okay. And if I'm remembering from what I read on the wiki, which I might be wrong, should be... Could also just... Okay, he's there. Okay, there he is. He's on the other side of the map. Alright. So, can I craft anything new? Okay, I'll need to go mining in order to get my own furnace. Okay. New cutscene. It's a Willy. Okay. A wee puppy. Return from a fishing trip deep in Cindersnap Forest. There's a river filled with king salmon this time of year. Take a gander at this beauty. Why would he put it on the ground? It's quite the mighty catch. She'll sell for good coin at the market. If you feel the angling spirit, try catching one of these beauties. Well, I would. Okay, adorable. This is gonna cost me almost everything. Okay, this is gonna be worth it though. It's Ruby Doo. it's it's my Timu Ruby Doo. You give Ruby some good pets. She seems happy. I love you, Ruby. Revengington. Okay. Find a string you like, but it's already flowered. Take a cut and throw it in here, and you can't guarantee it'll take, but it's worth a shot. Bagseed, alien technology starter. The Bruce Banner starter. Oh, damn it. White Widow, the skunk. Okay. Whenever summer hits, we're gonna be buying a ton of Girl Scout cookies. Cinderella 99. We can do that. Chocolate Fern. 6 days. I think I might. Might buy the Ravaging 10. And we'll buy a Bruce Banner. Maybe. You know what? Let's do skunk. We'll do one skunk to replace our current one. That's about to get picked up by tomorrow, or it should be today. Okay, and we're gonna spend the majority just chopping out trees. Because we need like at least 4 days worth of wood. Won't be able to make back the money by fishing. Yeah, there's supposed to be. Yep. Marnie cutscene. Puppy, I wanted to tell you we have a new batch of farm animals. Special ones, that is. Marlin is 10 times hotter now. As if he wasn't already. The old adventuring man. Oh, hello, puppy. I'm here for the new business with Marnie. Hello, Marnie. Here's the new batch of monster species. It's excellent. I wanted to talk to Puppy about. From now on, I'll be selling harmless monsters bought by Marlin, but you will need a monster den to house them. Robin will probably help you in this regard. I'm eager to see what kind of results this experiment can produce. I love the little emoji face. Whoa. I forgot the dinosaurs are huge. I'm good. I don't need about my views. Ooh, we can get Wolfsbane. Okay, we'll need to get Wolfsbane later. Catnip? Okay. Tempting. any of her crops yet. Probably not, and that's okay. Whenever summer hits, though, we are stocking up on wolfsbane. Okay, that was a little weird. Okay. Drink the star drip. I like to think the reason she keeps drinking all the energy drinks is just because probably withdrawal from being from the city to the farmlands. Just the one sip of caffeine is like, okay, I gotta get back to it. Honestly, I don't know if anyone's ever had to take a caffeine, like a break from caffeine, but the withdrawals are crazy. Like, I don't know, it's dramatic, but it really does get to you. Like, it makes, like, you feel dependent on just being caffeinated. And then as soon as you start, like, actually distancing yourself from caffeinated drinks, like, heavy ones like soda and everything, and you get into, like, less caffeinated stuff, you feel a lot better. Also, I love my Dr. Pepper. Okay. Okay. Scared me just a little bit. Alright. Time for the moment of truth. if you couldn't tell what this is, we now have a Labubu. Labubu. It's a Lablubu, too. I could be clever, okay? We can get the tiger bikini. Alright. Can make glass jars. Okay. I think the more we play, the more laggy it'll be. I sincerely apologize for that. Need to make an entire chest just for crafting. Like, we actually need to organize all of our chests at some point. There we go. We got the Zuzu City diesel. Just let us... A grinder, drying rack, dehydrator, Olympic. Okay, so there's a chance to get it back. So we can make, if we get that hand soap, the soap press. I think our best bet would be the grinder. But also, I don't think it's gonna be the easiest because of that hardwood. A glass jar somewhere. Yeah, it's getting real laggy. Okay. Various teas into kombucha. Okay. Okay. Be featured. Okay. Alright, that confused me a little bit. Go get the water, come back. I'm gonna take a little second away. which I think since we don't have anything, we'll just go ahead and sell this in the city. We'll go ahead and get started on the fishing whenever we get back. I hate the occasional lag. Oh well. Alright, I'm gonna step away for just a second. get back to fishing for a little bit. Oh my god. Sorry, I was looking through the other people streaming Stardew, and Desert Nox's PNG tuber is so adorable. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. This Thursday, however, I do plan on trying to get a actual way to put my PNG tuber up here. And I'll try and put her in this lower left area. Actually, no, it'd be over the energy bar. Yeah. Got more ladyfishes. 800. Yeah, already looking at just here, over 1,000. Which is going to bump us up quite a bit. We should be able to get started on upgrading the house immediately, too. Spiny dogfishes sell for a lot. I think it's like 1,000 each. Treasure chest. Which, this isn't my first time, playing Stardew. More or less first time streaming it, which... a while ago, I've been wanting to do this for years. One of my favorite streamers, I hate to say favorite and then say I forgot, her user, but it was back whenever, the streaming website Kick not like the texting one that's like very problematic, but the one that got oh, he disrespected the chest. The one that got bought out by I think it was Microsoft's version of Twitch that got bought out by Twitch like almost immediately. That was for Xbox and was super interactive. I remember first time watching someone live play Stardew was that, and like she was a super nice streamer. She was very interactive with her viewers, and I don't know. She like was my main introduction and like main inspiration for wanting to even become a streamer. Because I remember I made a recommendation of playing Terraria, and then the next stream I saw of hers was her playing Terraria, which is one of my all-time favorite games. So, I don't know, it really made me want to become that, someone who can kind of inspire people to want to become a streamer, because it is actually really is a fun hobby. It's a really fun hobby to just play video games. And if you have people watching or not, it's equally just the same. Because I could have no one watching, no viewers, and I would still be having fun. I'd still enjoy doing this. Because it's just something, I don't know, it's something fun to do in the meantime. Because if I'm going to be playing the game, I might as well stream it. Doesn't change the fact I'm still going to play it and still have fun. It just means that other people can also enjoy the game while I'm getting to play it as well. And maybe someone who hasn't seen Stardew or Town to City, which Town to City is, I need to get back into streaming that one specifically. But it's just, if someone hasn't been able to find out about something, like if someone's been living under a rock, never seen Minecraft, and they watch someone streaming it and they want to play it, that's an amazing thing, and I want to be able to enjoy that as well, and help someone see a good game for the first time, and even myself see a good game for the first time from my viewers. Which, if the game didn't keep lagging because of the fact I have over 100 mods on it, would probably help in the advertisement I do, which is unpaid. I sadly am not sponsored by Stardew. That would be the best thing ever, but let's go ahead and sell all the fish. Don't want to sell the tail, but I think we already have one. Let's go ahead. Which I might do some Town to City tomorrow night, and then do some Stardew on Saturday evening. So I'll probably do some Town to City tomorrow, start our new town, and and then do more Stardew on Saturday. Look at that, 17,000 just from fishing. 18. Alright. let's see if we can get our wood, and hopefully this should be enough. Let's see, whenever this... 3 days. Good news, parsnips are done. Are these done? Scythe. Okay. So we'll save these for the dehydrator. Get a rolling bench. Can we already make it? Let's see. Not looking like it. Wooden display? No. Which this has made this job a little bit easier since we were able to gather everything. If we're getting enough water. There we go. Which I don't know if any of you have cooked with parsnips before, but they are not bad. Honestly, a little bit healthier, I'd say, alternative to potatoes. Which they aren't bad. I quite like cooking with them and making parsnip fries. Which with that, it's still not healthy because you're frying it, but... It's almost like the perfect fusion between carrot and potato, which sounds weird as hell. Okay. Wait. Okay, that was a bad idea because it lagged. Looking for that. Okay. Is this not even? It is. Okay. Say what? Okay. That's that. Just thinking, people are like stones skipping over the water. Eventually we're going to sink. That's dark. Okay. So all we're going to get down here is just more ghost fish. That's what it's looking like. Which I guess the good thing about this area is we're getting free gems. So we'll be able to turn, yeah, the calcite. What else? Yeah. Okay, we can pickle it. So there's not much that you can do with this. So parsnip's a good one to sell. Okay, let's get out of that before we accidentally scrap all the wood. Alright. Let us get one of those. Shouldn't need anything else. And I think it might be 500 in order to upgrade the house, but we'll see. Oh, she closed. Okay. Well, we'll be able to go to the library and donate the calcite and the skeleton tail. I have to find out what's causing the bit of lag. Exactly. Which is gonna be sad if it's one of the primary mods I like. New reward. Cauliflower. Let's go to Willie, see if we can upgrade our fishing rod. Is he also out for the day? I could be in his room. Okay, what is this? Oh, that's so cute. Okay. Okay, we gotta go to the puppy. Which I'll say after the day of tomorrow in-game is when we'll probably end the stream for tonight. If you met my mother, she's the town's carpenter. I'm at the clinic. Ooh. It keeps lagging for some reason. That's so adorable. If we don't do much, it shouldn't affect the game too much. Like, as long as we're not doing this. Or okay, so even if we don't do anything, it still lags a bit. Okay, good to know. at not the biggest payload like we did the literally night before to 20,000. But we'll probably be looking at something a little bit big. Okay. Let's eat that. Okay, we are shooting to get a good pay this one. Let's keep pumping them out. Hello, sailor. It's the farm treating you. Filled me out. Okay. Goodbye. I need to find out if during the moments of lag, if I'm still audible or not. If not, I'll use that time to try and get the cough out. Can do without that. I'll take that as the sign we need to start running home. Part-time, I guess, is to pay the bills. She is so adorable. Because, give me another round. Oh no. Alright, it's lagged right now. Would be a good time to tell if I can actually hear myself or not. Can I hear me? Alright. That was like a big worry of mine. Is if the audio goes out or something whenever I'm get a moment of lag. Okay, 12:40. Let's get out of here. Let's go ahead. beat the bell. We beat the bell. Okay. Farming level 1 already. That is sad. Got the compost bin, teapot, cave carrot top. That might be a new hat. Basic fertilizer, hoe proficiency, farming level 2, mayonnaise machine, sprinkler, drying rack. Okay, that's good. Level 1 socializing. 5% chance, no daily friendship decay. It's like tooth decay. Alright, it has hit another moment of lag. Am I audible or not? Only one thing can tell. Yes, okay. Alright. So it's definitely a bummer that there is moments where we have lag and hiccup in the streams. There isn't really much I can do on that. Dear anglers, for starters, you may want to fish in Cindersap. Okay, so where is Cindersap? Okay. There's an article about me. Wonder Wagon. Plant enthusiast. Did you know you can use 2 existing strains to make like a totally new one? There's even a handy doohickey to make it happen. Give it a shot sometime. Norval in... Oh my gosh, it's Norval. Like, I just got it. It's Shaggy's actual name. Okay. Let's go ahead and get these watered up. So let me make sure. Okay, it's PC's warm a little bit, but not too bad. We also really have to make scarecrows. It's getting crazy. Oh, there is that. Okay, so we don't even have to make that big trip that we do every day. We can instead literally just clear the path here. Do want to see if we're able to learn this or not, and if we are, that will be great. You thought of a new recipe? I definitely thought about that all by myself. There was nothing needed for me to learn that. Upgrade my house. 450. Yeah. Okay. All right. We might do this since we have the money. Which I think that's all this is gonna be, is just being able to buy stuff right now. Da, 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 da. Ba, ba, ba. Ooh, hold on. Let's see the Adventurers Guild. I think I downloaded a mod that gives them something. Is this to the Adventurers Guild? Can't remember. Yeah, okay. 12? Okay. Don't care, Grandpa. Let me in the mines. I'm glad I managed to get a new mouse for this, because the old one I had did not want to work. Yeah, just some more bots in the server, in the chat. We're about to be able to farm out a lot of carrots. Okay. There we go. Okay, definitely got new mining upgrade. Did we get hardwood from a chest? You're kidding. Okay. I don't know if there's anything that requires only one, but it would be good if there is. We will check that as soon as we get out of here. I say that, but I keep going lower. We don't have anything to eat, do we? No. Okay. Save the mines, which now we got level 5 mines, so we're good. Checking over important documents. Castle Village's weapon cache. Gil is so cute. Frog legs. Oh yeah, the Terraria mod. Which I might do this one. Get the Banner Regeneration. I know that literally just ate up all of our... Okay, do I put this in the ring slot? I think I would, since it's essentially just an accessory. I was really glad to find a Terraria mod that works for it. I know there's like a few others. Yeah, there we go. See? Now every 10 seconds should heal 1 HP. Yep. Which ain't a lot, but it's something. Which is always better than nothing. Lyrical genius. Alright. Let us see if there's anything that requires only 10 pieces of wood and a charcoal. Don't need that. Wood. Okay. So 20 wood, 15 fiber. Is that all I can make? Looks like it. Yeah, sorbet would be... Yeah, it looks like we're gonna need 5 hardwood for anything crafting-wise. Yeah, pine tar... Wax barrel wouldn't be bad. I really need that canning machine, though. Yeah. Let's do my nightly rounds. Notice that your first parsnip was ready. Congratulations. Stop spying. Vincent. Let's give the Gunth man our free stuff. Jess said I could come over soon. We could play together. She said she'd show me all the cows in Aunt Mari's ranch. That's so cute. Let's donate. Let's get that there. Alright. Ooh, fancy. Give me food. $100 for some fried chicken. Oh, that is a cheap menu. Okay, let's not do that. What was it? Okay, yeah, no. Although... Hold on. There's only one thing we're going to get out of here. If it will load. Okay, not the egg. Get one of those. Jeez. Okay, so M is the map. We'll move the tables Saturday up to here. Jeez. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead, get these. Water these up, and we'll be getting off for the night. Hmm? Yeah. Probably growing a lot of interesting plants on your farm, huh? Stop by your place in May and check it out. Farm cave. Oh. Oh, it just lets you relive it. Okay. Let us set the drying rack up back here. Ooh. Okay, okay. Let's grab this. 5 pieces, I forget. Okay. I'll probably delete one of the expansion mods that we don't use at all. Cherry bomb. Okay. Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to fix this lag. I do not care what Clint has to say. Alright. This is probably where we are going to end the stream off for tonight, but we will be back probably tomorrow night or Saturday. Alright, thank you all so much for joining tonight. It's really been fun.